Welcome to the Hires Big H Home Kitchen. I'm just finishing up washing my hands. Today we have a very special treat. We're going to make homemade root beer with the Big H root beer extract and also Hires Big H burgers with the famous Hires Big H hamburger and fry sauce. It's just one of the greatest combinations in the world. The recipe is so simple. You are just going to love how easy it is and how fun it is to make. Making it is half the fun. Your children, the neighborhood children, are all going to just thrill seeing this and tasting the delicious product that is made. Okay, so let's get started. You need 1 gallon of water, 2.5 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of the Big H root beer extract, about 4 to 5 pounds of dry ice, and I have previously broken up the dry ice to be pretty thin so it can easily melt with my handy mallet. We always like to make it in an open container, food safe, and we always recommend that you use a plastic container. I know you're thirsty, as am I, so let's get started. I'm going to take the water. Look at that mountain water. Take the sugar and just blend that in as well. And I'm going to just stir a little bit so we get a really good blend and it mixes up really well. Now I'm going to take the Big H root beer extract, 2 tablespoons, 1, 2. Take the spatula again and stir it. It's just a beautiful brown, rich brown, almost chocolate brown. Okay, so now this is the part that's fun for everyone, particularly kids and children and your children. They're just going to love it. I'm going to mix the dry ice in, and I'm going to do it slowly so it doesn't overflow. If you put it all in at once, you'll probably have an explosion. You can see the carbon dioxide being released. I'm just going to slowly mix it. One of the great things is to do this at Halloween. There's nothing better than homemade root beer on a cold Halloween night, and maybe sloppy joes or chili along with that. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. I'm like a science professor, aren't I? Takes about 10 to 15 minutes to carbonate, and you should stir it periodically. All right, we're back. We finished making the mixture of the root beer extract with the water and sugar and poured it into a pitcher, and we're all ready to go. There's nothing better than pouring homemade root beer into frosted mugs. The way you frost the mug is easy. You just get a couple of mugs. You can do it with any glass as well, but just get them wet with cold water and then throw them into the freezer for about 10, 15, 20 minutes, and they'll come out frosted like that. Okay, like I said, I know you're thirsty, and so am I, so let's go ahead and try it. Got some of the slush from the carbon dioxide. I'll take the famous taste test. Really, seriously, the best root beer I've ever tasted. That is so smooth and so tasty, so delicious. Oh, Mrs. Marvin would be so proud. Go ahead and call Bob and tell him we're sailings. We are sailing now, drinking this delicious root beer. I think you're going to be famous whenever you make this homemade root beer with the Big H root beer extract. There's some great combinations in life. Hamburgers and root beer, vanilla ice cream and chocolate syrup, spaghetti and meatball, macaroni and cheese. But I think the best combination of all is root beer and a hamburger. So let's turn our attention to making Big H hamburgers right now. Okay, now we're going to make a Big H hamburger. Hires Big H was started in 1959 by my father, Don Hale, and one of the most famous sandwiches of the whole menu is the Big H. The Big H is a 1/4 pounder of fresh ground chuck. Have lettuce, tomato, and cheese. And what makes it special is the Hires Big H hamburger and fry sauce that we use for many of our hamburgers and also for French fries. So you can make this famous Big H sandwich at home. It is just so creamy and delicious, and it is great on everything. It's great on hamburgers, hot dogs, onion rings, fries, tacos, a variety of different things. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take this ground chuck and go over to our grill here in the Hires Big H kitchen, home kitchen. It is sizzling. We're going to cook it for about 4 minutes on each side. And after 4 minutes, then I'm going to flip it, salt it, and I'll put the cheese on it. But it's really important to wait till the hamburger turns gray on the outside and some of the moisture from the burger pools up, and you'll see that. Okay, so I'm going to turn up the stove just a little bit. It's usually about a medium heat. So on the hamburger, the blood pools up and the edges turn gray, so I'm going to flip it. I'm going to also show you that has to have some grill marks on it. That's where flavor comes in as well. Put the bun in the pan to heat them up a little bit. Then I'm going to take the salt and salt the burgers, bring out its flavor. Put the cheese on it. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put some fry sauce on the top of the bun. I'm going to put the top of the bun on top of the hamburger. Then I'll take the bottom of these buns and do the same thing. I'm going to put some lettuce on each, spread it around, and then I'm going to top it with a vine-ripe tomato. Now I'm going to take the hamburgers from the pan and just put them on just like that. Put it on the plate, just like that. Now you can keep your hamburgers that way, or you can slice them from corner to corner, just so they can see how delicious it is on the interior. I already put in some French fries into the oven and let them bake. And so I'm going to bring them over here, put them with the Hires Big H. Oh my gosh, does that look so good. And then what I'm going to do is just take a little bit more of the fry sauce and pour it on the plate next to the fries. And I always like to leave a little extra in case I want to dip my hamburger into the sauce to get a little bit more sauce on that. So I am going to give it the famous taste test. Best hamburger I've ever had. It is so delicious. It makes it even better if you have it with Big H homemade root beer, which I'm going to pour 2 glasses, one for me and one for you. One more bite of this delicious Hires Big H hamburger. Mrs. Marvin. Okay, I think I've gone to heaven. A French fry dipped in that sauce. I don't know how you can get any better food than this. And right in your own kitchen that you can make with the Big H hamburger, the French fries, the sauce, and the homemade root beer. Cheers to you and to a wonderful, tasty meal for your family.